Hi, everyone. I've just written a new book called Crossroads about a woman who leaves the faith for atheism because of difficulties in her life. But it's also the story of the man who refuses to let her slip further away from God, even if it means leaving his comfort zone. I really don't think there could be a more relevant story for today. As believers, we are our brother's keeper, and as watchmen for the kingdom, we must do all we can to win these prodigals back to God. But it's a process that calls for commitment on our part as well as unconditional love. Now, one of the main questions that we might hear from those we're trying to share our faith with is, how do you know there even is a God? And other than the faith that we have in our hearts, I believe the answer is twofold. First of all, God's creation is the perfect evidence for his existence. And two verses come to mind. The first is Psalm 19:1, which tells us that the heavens are telling of the glory of God, and their expanse is declaring the work of his hands. Another verse is Romans 1:20, which says this: For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. Now, the second proof of God's existence I found in a book called Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. Within each human life, within all of us, there's an innate knowing of the difference between right and wrong, between fair and unfair. And this exists regardless of our upbringing, our culture, our socioeconomic status. This moral compass that's within each of us obviously doesn't come from us because we can't keep it perfectly. So it stands to reason that it must come from a higher being who made us this way. I hope and pray that we can all use these two nuggets of truth when someone questions us about our faith. In 1 Peter 3:15 it says, "But sanctify Christ the Lord in your hearts, always being ready to make a defense to everyone who asks you to give an account for the hope that is in you, yet with gentleness and reverence." Now, can you think of another proof that there is for answering the question about whether or not there is a God? If so, please share it in the comments so we can all be better prepared to lead others to faith in Jesus. God bless.